G'day there everyone, Daniel Anderson here. Now today we're going to take a look at how you can personally take control and manage your inbox with a couple of features in the new Outlook or Outlook Online as well. Now I'm sure we've all been part of distribution lists or email chains where people are using the reply all button, and then we've got other people that are saying let's stop using the reply all button and things like that. Well, how about you can take control of all of this yourself and get all of that out of your inbox automatically. Now, let's first of all have a look at how we can set up what we call rules in the new Outlook and Outlook Online to divert all of this conversational type of emails that do come back through a thread just into a different folder, and you can do that automatically so that you don't need to touch these things. So let's have a look here. I'm in Outlook Online, but this works exactly the same way in the new Outlook. So I'm going to target any message that is coming from Microsoft Viva. Okay, so this could also be obviously a distribution list or things like that, where we don't want to clog up our inbox with all of these emails that are coming to that distribution list, and then all the replies that do come back from a particular email that gets sent out as well. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to click these three little dots up the top here, and we're going to utilize this feature called rules. So I'm going to create a rule, and first of all I'm going to expand this. So I'm just going to make this and click more options. Now we can see here the first step is that we need to give this rule a name. So I'm just going to leave it as the default for all messages from Microsoft Viva, and then we get into our conditions. We go add a condition from Microsoft Viva. So we could click in here and add other people as well. So this is where we determine what the condition is for this rule to run. You'll also see that we can add additional conditions, and we've got lots of different things that we can use to trigger when this rule is run. Okay, so I'm just going to leave this where it says from Microsoft Viva, but just know that it can be a lot of different things here as well. So whether you're on the whether your name is on the to line, whether you're CC'd, all of that sort of stuff, we can get really granular here. Then we're going to take action after this rule has been triggered. So what we're going to do is we are going to move this to a specific folder. All right, so you can see here that we've got the ability to create a new folder here if we haven't already created one, which I haven't. So I'm going to go ahead and say Viva emails. All right, so we'll create a folder called Viva emails, and that's where all of these emails are going to live automatically for us. So they come in and they're going to be diverted into this folder. All right, so I'm going to click and select run the rule now, and I'm going to save that. So what's going to happen now, this is going to now process over any of the emails that are already in my inbox, and they're going to get moved into that folder. All right, so you can see here, I've got this rules page. I can then also add additional rules on this page as well if I wanted to. All right, so here, I'm just going to discard this. We can see that we've got this that we've just set up. We can edit it or we can delete it as well. All right, so I'm just going to close this off. And let's have a look at this folder. So we can see here that the rule is running, and I've got all of these emails now that are coming out of my inbox and directly into this folder called Viva emails. At the moment, we've got 4. It's still running, and it will fill up once it finds more. Okay. Now, the next thing that we're going to take a look at is the ability for us to ignore conversations. The next feature that we're going to take a look at is the ability for us to ignore conversations. So think of a conversation like your traditional email thread, as some people would call it. So you can see here that I'm logged in as Alex, but I've got this thread or this conversation that has been started with Megan. So a conversation starts, or a thread starts, when somebody sends you an email and then somebody replies back to that email. Now, it could be multiple people that are replying back to that email, and then we've got a thread or a conversation started inside of Outlook. And that's what's happened here. So Megan sent an email to Alex, he's replied, Megan's replied, Alex has replied, and then we've got this chain or thread or conversation. What if we want to just ignore this conversation? Okay, so what we can do is we can select this conversation either at the top, or we can select an actual individual message as part of this conversation, and we can click under the delete grouping here. We can hit ignore. Okay, so you can see here that we have this dialog box that appears, and it says to allow to ignore this conversation. It's going to delete all the messages for the selected conversations from all folders except the sent items, and all new items that are part of this selected conversation will also be deleted. So this is another way to take control or remove yourself or remove that conversation from your inbox. Okay, so we'll click OK. And now that conversation has been removed, all right? So if I jump into deleted items, you can see there is that conversation as well. But what if we wanted to restore that conversation as well? So to stop ignoring a conversation and bring that back to life, what we can do is jump into the deleted items. Now we can select any of the messages that are part of that conversation. And again, what we can do is jump up to the delete grouping here and go stop ignoring. All right. And you can see here, we get a little notification that is telling us that this will stop the deletion of new items that arrive for this conversation and move all the items for this conversation from the deleted items folder back to the inbox. So we're going to click OK. And then now if I jump back to the inbox, that will then be back into our inbox, and any new email that comes in for that conversation will also stay here and not be just diverted into the deleted items as well. All right, so there are two features of the new Outlook or Outlook Online that you can utilize yourself, take control of your inbox, and then either create some rules or stop ignoring conversations. If you are part of a really big distribution list or things like that, and you're getting bombarded with replies or reply alls, you might want to get back to them at some point. That's where you can use a rule to just move it into a folder and just keep it out of your inbox. If you want to ignore them, then you can use the ignore conversation functionality. So I hope that brings you some value. Hope that helps tidy up your inbox and take control. And I'll see you in the next episode.